I was to watch a whole day of, say, a network like CNN and Fox News, I feel like there'd be a lot of big stories that I would miss, some international things. And there's been a lot of focus on Donald Trump and what's going on in Washington, but there really is a lot more going on in the world. Do you think sometimes the media is guilty of missing out on some of these bigger stories?
But what do you mean by media? Again, I think it's about defining our terms. I think CNN's US channel on TV during the day is certainly pandemic focused and DC focused.
Yeah.
Um,
But you can miss a lot of big
and
stories.
then, but that's not how people consume the news anymore. So I would say CNN.com and CNN International are covering all of those other stories all around the world. And I would say the average news consumer is getting all of that online and not on TV. And I would argue that's a better format. Like in many ways, the internet is the superior distribution form for news. Yes, there's huge problems with disinformation and echo chambers and silos and all that shit, like huge problems. But the internet is an all-you-can-eat buffet, instantly updated all the time. It's a news lover's dream. TV is one story at a time, so I think the right answer is you do everything you can on the best platform. So you cover everything on online. You cover the biggest stories on TV. To me, that's just like a logical play. And what I would suggest to you is, maybe it would be a better world if everyone paid attention to international stories and other big stories. The evidence for 50 years has showed that there's not a big American audience for that. Even when you give it to them, even when it's easy to get, there's not a lot of evidence there's a big audience for it. So thus, I think it's best that it is available online for people who want it.
Yeah, and I would definitely agree with that, that you could find all these big stories online. I think the issue is when you have some viewers that just watch cable news and they're missing out on a lot of their stories. But I want to get moving.
That person exists.
I would say so. I know some people that would exclusively just watch Fox News or just watch MSNBC, and I think they miss a lot of stories.
Well, there's a big problem with Fox in particular, because that audience is told every day to hate the rest of the media. The Fox audience is told every day not to trust the rest of the media. So they are less likely to go and look at other outlets. I think the research shows, and I agree, I'm sure it's true for MSNBC and CNN to some degree, but I think the research shows that audiences for CNN and MSNBC are also consuming lots of websites and other outlets. They have a more of a varied, not balanced, but more of a varied news diet where you're consuming 12 different, sorts of outlets. I do think, to the extent that it's a problem in news, it's an opportunity for innovation. It's an opportunity for young people to come up with better ways to deliver the news. Like right now, we're all just hot, we're all just addicted to the devices. We're addicted to our phones. We scroll through Facebook and Twitter. Let's come up with new ways to get people the news. Let's come up with new ways to get people a balanced diet of news.